My talk is inspired by a comment a prospective teacher made when leaving class one day. She had taken 3 different courses that used modules materials, which are designed specifically to connect university mathematics to secondary teaching. But she said, "These classes are in the afternoons and I'm usually tired. But when I leave class, I always feel like I'm coming down from the math mountaintop." Well, let me say a little more about these mountaintop materials. You can use modules to teach 4 different semester-long university math content courses, or you can mix them together to create custom courses of your own. Modules goes deep with mathematics and statistics. We also apply content knowledge to teaching situations, use equitable teaching practices, and situate assignments in contexts that focus on equity and social justice. To understand my students' mountaintop comment better, I looked at data from 300 prospective teachers who learned with modules to see what they said they learned about the content and about teaching. Well, content statements focused on increased understanding of the foundations of content, or they focused on personal empowerment or flexibility in learning. Teaching comments focused on learning how to ask content-specific questions to help students learn, or about how to guide students without simply telling them things, or about respecting students' learning processes. Well, now, let's climb the mountain. We're going to start on the content side in the foothills of the foundations of understanding. One prospective teacher said, "I learned the formal process of modeling in this course. I never even knew there were formal steps. Also, validating our conclusions is important because you may have to rewind and take a new approach." Another said, "I had not realized that doing algebra depends on many underlying properties and practices. I learned different algebraic definitions, where to properly use them, and how to write them at different grade levels." On the slopes of empowerment, a teacher said, "I learned statistics is more than data and graphs. We can use data to draw conclusions that make changes happen. It relates to science and also to socioeconomics and politics." Another said, "Learning rigid transformations was most insightful. Before, I didn't feel like I would do justice to geometry for my future students. I feel much more prepared to teach geometry and to explain it deeply." On the flexibility summit, we hear, "The modeling process can always be tweaked. I learned that a model does not have to look a certain way. And this course taught us how people can do algebra differently and still get to the right answer." Moving to the teaching side on the trail of questioning, we have, "To teach stats well, you should ask questions." We analyzed actual student work so that we could better understand what students are thinking and how we can help them. Also, teaching algebra involves asking questions and giving students time to make conjectures and observations. We had opportunities to reflect on how we would lead a discussion or explain ideas to students. In the guiding gorges, we hear, "I learned to guide students to use their intuition and creativity to model a situation in their own way. It might be different from mine. I provide the tools to develop models. I don't tell students direct steps." And on the peak of respect, we see, "Teaching algebra is about expanding thinking and allowing students to build on their own learning. And I need to be patient and let students finish their thought before correcting them." Well, these 2 teachers summarize the module's mountaintop with honesty. One says, "I'm still struggling a little with teaching this content, but the course forced me to respond to student thinking, which was something I'd never had to do before. I think this helped me learn not only to teach better, but also to understand the content more." And finally, "If you're asking if this material was valuable, I found myself using it every day during my tutoring job and my teaching placements." Well, as a project team, we are thrilled that teachers glimpsed the mathematical mountaintop when using our materials. We hope that they will use their experiences to help their future students do the same. For more information about using modules in your university mathematics content courses that teachers take, please visit us at modules2.com and click Use Modules. They are freely available and contain instructor supports. Thanks.